It starts with the silence. You know the specific silence I'm talking about. It's 7:15 p.m. on a Tuesday. The overhead lights have dimmed to that energy-saving mode, casting half the office in shadow. The hum of the HVAC system is the only sound in the room because everyone else, the smart ones, the ones with boundaries, the ones who don't tie their entire self-worth to a job title, left 2 hours ago. But not you. You are still there. You are sitting in the glow of your monitor, eyes burning, scrolling through a spreadsheet that isn't even technically your responsibility. You are fixing a mistake you didn't make. Let's look at this moment closely. You're rewriting a report because the guy in the next cubicle sent you garbage data. Again. And instead of sending it back, instead of flagging it to management, instead of saying, "This isn't my job," you are fixing it. You are doing the math. You are formatting the slides. You are saving the team. And you tell yourself a story while you do it. You tell yourself, "This proves I'm valuable." You tell yourself, "They'll see this. They'll see that I'm the one holding this place together." Pause. Look at the empty chairs around you. They don't see you as valuable. They see you as a utility. Like the printer. Like the Wi-Fi. You are expected to work. You are expected to function. And nobody thanks the printer for printing until it jams. That silence you're sitting in, that isn't the sound of your dedication. That is the sound of your life leaking out of you, one unpaid hour at a time, for a company that would post your job opening before your obituary hit the local paper. And here is the gut punch you were trying to ignore. Earlier that day, you were in a meeting. You know the one. The all hands, or the strategy sync. You were sitting there with your notebook, prepared. You had the data. You knew the risks. You had 3 different solutions mapped out in your head because you did the reading. You did the prep work. Then there's that other person. Let's be honest, you pictured their face immediately. The one who breezed in 2 minutes late with a coffee in hand. The one who hasn't opened a spreadsheet in 6 months. The one who speaks in buzzwords and generic platitudes about synergy and moving the needle. And halfway through the meeting, while you were waiting for the right time to speak, while you were waiting for permission to be brilliant, they interrupted. They threw out an idea. A vague, half-baked idea. Maybe even an idea you told them about in the hallway 3 days ago. And the boss nodded. The boss smiled. The boss said, "That's great thinking. Let's run with that." And you? You froze. You sat there, mouth half open, heart hammering against your ribs. You wanted to scream. You wanted to say, "Wait, that doesn't work because of X, Y, and Z." You wanted to say, "That was my point." But you didn't. You swallowed it. You wrote it down. You nodded. Why? Because you believe in a fair world. You have been brainwashed by the just world hypothesis. You think that if you just keep your head down, if you just work harder, if you just prove your loyalty over and over again, the universe will balance the scales. You think competence is a currency that buys you safety. Wrong. Competence without leverage is not an asset. It is a target. By being the person who fixes everything, you haven't made yourself indispensable. You have made yourself load-bearing. Do you know what happens to load-bearing walls? They never get moved. They never get upgraded. They just get more weight piled on top of them until they crack. And that is exactly where you are right now. You are cracking. You feel it on Sunday nights. That tightening in your chest around 4 p.m. The Sunday scaries isn't just a cute hashtag. It is your body screaming at you that you are walking into a lion's den where you are the meat. You check your email before you even get out of bed on Monday. You reply to Slack messages while you're on the toilet. You take calls on your vacation, just a quick check-in, because you are terrified that if you aren't there, things will fall apart. Or worse, you are terrified that if you aren't there, things won't fall apart, and you'll realize that your martyrdom was for nothing. This is the uncomfortable truth about your loyalty. It is a one-way street. You are bringing a soul to a transaction. You are offering emotional devotion to an entity that exists solely on a spreadsheet. The company is not your family. The company is not your friend. The company is a machine designed to extract maximum value for minimum cost. And right now, you are the discount aisle. You are the buy one, get one free deal of the corporate world. You give them the work of two people for the salary of one, and you thank them for the opportunity to burn yourself out. And the worst part? The part that keeps you awake at 3 a.m.? You suspect that they know. You suspect that your boss knows exactly what they are doing. When they pile that extra project on your desk with a smile and say, "I'm only giving this to you because I trust you," you feel a flicker of pride. Stop it. That is not a compliment. That is manipulation. "I trust you" translates to "I know you won't say no. I know you have no boundaries. I know you are so desperate for validation that you will sacrifice your mental health to get a gold star on a report nobody is going to read." Your loyalty is not protecting you. It is exposing you. Every time you say yes when you should say no, you are training them. You are teaching them that your time has no value. You are teaching them that your personal life is negotiable. You are teaching them that you are expendable because you are willing to expend yourself. You think you are climbing the ladder, but look down. You aren't climbing. You are digging. And the deeper you dig, the harder it is to see the light. You are burying yourself in your own competence, and you are handing them the shovel. It didn't happen all at once. You didn't wake up one morning and decide to become the office doormat. It was a slow, creeping seduction. It was 1,000 tiny concessions that you told yourself were just being a team player. Let's go back to the beginning. Do you remember the first time you checked your email on a Saturday? You were at the grocery store. Or maybe you were at the park. Your phone buzzed. Just a little vibration in your pocket. You pulled it out. Urgent. Quick question about the Q3 numbers. It wasn't urgent. Nothing in a spreadsheet is ever truly urgent. But you felt a spike of adrenaline. Someone needed you. So you stopped. You stood there in the cereal aisle, blocking the way for everyone else, and you thumbed out a reply. "No problem. Here's the figure." You hit send. You felt good. You felt efficient. You thought, "Look at me on top of things." Pause. Do you know what you actually did in that moment? You signed a contract. A silent, invisible contract that said, "My time is not my own. My weekends are for sale. My peace of mind costs $0. You taught them that you are accessible. You taught them that the boundary between work and life is a suggestion, not a rule. And once you teach people that they can access you, they will never, ever unlearn it. Fast forward a few months. It's 4:55 p.m. on a Friday. You've had a brutal week. You have plans. You are literally packing your bag. And then they walk over. You know exactly who I'm talking about. The disorganized one. The one who spent all week chatting by the coffee machine and is now realizing they have a deadline at 5 p.m. They hover at your desk. They do that performative sigh. "Oh man, I am so swamped. I don't think I'm going to make this deadline." I don't suppose you could. And here is the fork in the road. Option A. You say, "That sounds stressful. Good luck." You pick up your bag and you leave. Option B. You say, "What do you need?" You choose option B. Every single time. Why? Because you are addicted to the yes. You are addicted to the moment of relief on their face. You are addicted to being the savior. You are addicted to the idea that if you help them, they will owe you. You think you are banking favors. You think you are building social capital. Wrong. You are not banking favors. You are devaluing your stock. Think about basic economics. Supply and demand. What happens when the supply of something is unlimited? What happens when you can get it anytime, anywhere, for free? The value drops to zero. By always saying yes, by always being available, by always picking up the slack, you have made your labor abundant. You have made your excellence common. And because it is common, it is worthless. You see the person who says no? The one who leaves at 5 p.m. on the dot? The one who doesn't answer emails on the weekend? Watch how management treats them. They don't pile work on them. They don't dump last-minute emergencies on their desk. When that person speaks, people listen. When that person stays late, just once, it is treated as a monumental event. Wow. Thanks so much for staying. We really appreciate it. But you? When you stay late, nobody notices. It's Tuesday. It's just what you do. It's your baseline. You have normalized your own exploitation. And the tragedy is, you think this makes you nice. You think this makes you a good person. You need to hear this. There is a difference between being kind and being a pushover. Kindness is helping someone move a couch because you want to. Being a pushover is moving the couch because you are terrified they won't like you if you don't. And that is the shadow driving your yes addiction. Fear. Fear of conflict. Fear of disappointment. Fear that if you stop running on this hamster wheel, if you stop holding up the sky for everyone else, they will realize they don't actually need you. You are terrified of your own expendability, so you try to make yourself indispensable by doing everything. But look at the result. You are exhausted. You are resentful. You are bitter. You sit in meetings and seethe because the person you saved last week is now taking credit for the project you helped them finish. You watch the lazy coworker get promoted because they had the energy to network and schmooze, while you were too busy doing their work to get your head above water. You are the architect of your own prison. You laid the bricks with every yes. You built the bars with every late-night email. You locked the door with every vacation day you didn't take because the team needs me. And the guards? The bosses? They aren't keeping you in there. The door is unlocked. They are just watching you pace back and forth in a cell you built yourself, wondering why you never leave. They aren't forcing you to work this hard. They are just accepting the donation. And as long as you keep donating your life, they will keep taking it. Because why wouldn't they? It's free. Here is the fundamental error in your operating system, the glitch that is ruining your life. You are treating a transaction like a relationship. Let's look at the biology for a second. You are a human animal. You are wired for the tribe. For 200,000 years, loyalty was the difference between life and death. If you protected the tribe protected you. If you shared your food, they shared theirs. Loyalty was a survival mechanism. It was a sacred pact. So you walk into your office, and your ancient brain looks around. It sees a group of people working together. It sees a hierarchy. It sees a mission, and your brain clicks into tribal mode. This is my tribe, it says. I will protect them. I will sacrifice for them. And when the winter comes, they will keep me warm. Wrong. You are not in a tribe. You are in a limited liability company. Do you know what that means? It means the entity exists to shield the owners from risk. It exists to generate profit. It is a legal fiction. It has no heart, no soul, no memory, and absolutely no capacity for love. You are projecting human emotions onto a spreadsheet. You think that because you stayed late every night for 3 years, you have built up emotional equity. You think there is a karmic ledger somewhere in HR where your sacrifices are being tallied, and one day, you will cash them in. There is no ledger. There is only the P&L statement. And on that statement, you are not an asset. You are an expense. Let that sink in. To the people you are loyal to, you are a cost. You are a line item that they are constantly trying to minimize. Every dollar they pay you is a dollar they don't keep. Every benefit they give you is a leak in the hull of their profit margin. Here is the scene that proves it. Imagine the economy turns. The quarterly numbers miss the target. The stock price dips. The board meets. They don't look at your loyalty. They don't pull up the records of how many weekends you sacrificed. They don't watch a montage of you missing your kids' soccer games to hit a deadline. They look at a number. They say, we need to cut 15% of OPEX. And just like that, you are gone. It's a Tuesday morning. You get a calendar invite. Quick sync. You log on. There's an HR person you've never met. Your boss is there, looking at the floor, reading from a script. This is not personal, they say. We are restructuring. Not personal. It feels pretty personal when you can't pay your mortgage. It feels pretty personal when the work family you bled for cuts your access to email before the call is even over. And that is the moment the illusion shatters. You realize that while you were playing tribe, they were playing business. While you were building a relationship, they were managing a resource. And the most painful part? The speed of the replacement. You think you are essential. You think, they'll fall apart without me. Pause. If you drop dead at your desk right now, the paramedics would carry you out, and HR would. Have your job posting on LinkedIn before your body was cold. 2 weeks later, someone new would be sitting in your chair. They would be using your monitor. They would be complaining about your spreadsheets. And the team you loved? The family you sacrificed for? They would go to lunch without you. This is the asymmetry of your betrayal. You are giving them 100% of your heart, and they are renting 100% of your time. It is a mismatch of exchange. You are paying in gold, your life, your health, your time, and they are paying in paper, a salary that probably hasn't kept up with inflation. And you do it because you want to believe. You want to believe that the company cares. Because if the company doesn't care, then all those late nights, all those missed dinners, all that stress, it was all for nothing. And you can't face that. You can't face the fact that you voluntarily walked into a slaughterhouse and handed them the knife. So you double down. You work harder. You try to force them to care through the sheer volume of your output. If I just do more, they'll have to appreciate me. No, they won't. They will just take the more. They will absorb it. They will expect it. And the moment you stop giving it, the moment you falter, the moment you ask for something in return, a raise, a break, a little bit of grace, they will look at you with cold, dead eyes and ask, "What have you done for me lately?" This is the nature of the beast. The corporation is a sociopath by design. It cannot feel guilt. It cannot feel gratitude. It can only feed. And you are the food. Let's talk about the guilt. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It is 5 p.m. Your contract says 9 to 5. You have finished your work. You have cleared your inbox. Technically, legally, and logically, you are free to go. But you don't just stand up and leave. You do the look around. You scan the room to see who else is packing up. You check if the boss is still in their office. You hesitate. You feel a physical weight in your stomach. And when you finally do leave, you do the walk of shame. You hunch your shoulders slightly. You walk quickly. You hope nobody makes eye contact. You feel like you are stealing something. You feel like you are stealing your own time. Why? Why does following the exact terms of your employment agreement feel like a betrayal? Because you are operating under a psychological delusion called a covert contract. This is a concept from Dr. Robert Glover, usually applied to relationships, but it explains your career perfectly. A covert contract is an unspoken agreement that exists entirely in your head. Here is the contract you think you signed. If I am a good employee, if I sacrifice my time, if I never say no, if I save the company money, then the company will love me, protect me, and reward me. Here is the contract the company actually signed. We will pay you $X for Y hours of labor. Anything extra you give us is a donation. See the disconnect? You are making deposits into a bank account that doesn't exist. You think you are building up credit. You think that every time you skip lunch to finish a deck, you are adding to your balance. You think that when you need a favor, a raise, a flexible schedule, a promotion, you can walk up to the teller and make a withdrawal. I'd like to cash in my loyalty points, please. And the teller looks at you blankly. We don't do that here. They didn't agree to your covert contract. They never said, if you ruin your weekend for this project, we will promote you next year. They just said, can you do this by Monday? And because you have a conscience, because you are a good person, you filled in the blanks. You assumed reciprocity. The law of reciprocity is a powerful human instinct. If I give you a gift, you feel a deep, biological urge to give me something back. It's how societies function. But corporations are not societies. They are sociopathic entities designed to break the law of reciprocity. They are takers. They will take your weekend. They will take your mental health. They will take your best ideas. And in return, they will give you a pizza party. Let's talk about the pizza party, or the thank you email, or the generic Employee of the Month certificate. These are not rewards. These are psychological pacifiers. They are designed to trigger your dopamine receptors just enough to keep you working without costing the company any actual capital. They are paying you in social currency because it is cheaper than real currency, and you accept it. You eat the stale pepperoni pizza in the break room, and you feel a little warmth in your chest. They appreciate me, you think. Pause. Can you pay your rent with pepperoni? Can you fund your retirement with a kudos on LinkedIn? No. But the covert contract keeps you trapped. You keep thinking, next time. Next time they'll really see me. Next time I'll get the big reward. It is a gambling addiction. You are sitting at a slot machine called the company, pulling the lever of hard work over and over again. You win a few pennies, a compliment, a small bonus, and you think the jackpot is coming. It isn't. The machine is rigged. The house always wins. And here is the darkest part of this psychology. They are weaponizing your own virtues against you. They know you are responsible. They know you care about quality. They know you hate letting people down. So when they understaff your department, they don't panic. They know you will panic. They know you will pick up the slack. They know you won't let the project fail, even if it means working until midnight. They are relying on your anxiety to subsidize their poor planning. Your work ethic is their safety net. Your perfectionism is their profit margin. They don't need to hire a second person because they have you. You are doing the work of two people for the price of one, driven by a covert contract that only you can see. And when you finally burn out, when you finally collapse and say, I can't do this anymore, they won't say, oh my God, we pushed you too hard. We are so sorry. Here is a month of paid leave. They will say, we are disappointed. You used to be such a high performer. They will use your past sacrifice as the baseline for your future abuse. You set the standard. You showed them that you were willing to bleed. And now, they are offended that you want to stop bleeding. You taught them how to treat you. And the covert contract is the lesson plan. This didn't start with your first job. This started when you were 5 years old. Picture a classroom. Small chairs. Primary colors. A teacher at the front. You are sitting there, hands folded. You are quiet. You are listening. The teacher says, if you work hard, if you follow the rules, if you don't cause trouble, you will get a gold star. And you did it. You sat still. You did your homework. You colored inside the lines. And you got the star. You got the A. You got the praise. What a good student, they said. What a pleasure to have in class. And your brain locked onto that pattern like a heat-seeking missile. Compliance equals safety. Obedience equals reward. Silence equals praise. You spent 18 years in an institution designed to produce obedient factory workers, and you were the best product on the assembly line. You learned that authority figures are benevolent. You learned that if you just put your head down and grind, someone is watching, keeping score, and preparing to reward you. Now, look at you in the office. You are still sitting in that small chair. You are still waiting for the teacher. You treat your boss like a principal. You treat your performance review like a report card. You are terrified of getting a B. You are terrified of being sent to the principal's office. But here is the shadow truth you are too scared to admit. The workplace is not a school. In school, the rules are clear and the game is fair. If you study, you pass. In the corporate world, the game is rigged and the rules are invisible. In school, the quiet kid who does all the work gets valedictorian. In the office, the quiet kid who does all the work gets more work. In school, the loud kid who disrupts class gets detention. In the office, the loud kid who disrupts meetings gets promoted to director of strategy. You are playing by the rules of a game that ended when you graduated. You are bringing a number 2 pencil to a knife fight. You think your work speaks for itself. If I just do a good job, they'll notice. Wrong. Work doesn't speak. People speak. And while you are busy perfecting your spreadsheet in silence, the person in the next cubicle, the one who did half the work but made twice the noise, is in the boss's office, selling your results as their victory. And you resent them. You think, that's not fair. They're cheating. They aren't cheating. They are playing the actual game. You are just playing the tutorial level over and over again. The good student syndrome makes you perfect prey for a predatory company. Why? Because good students don't negotiate. Good students don't ask for more money. Good students don't set boundaries. Good students assume the authority figure knows best. When your boss says, "We can't give you a raise this year, budgets are tight," the good student inside you nods and says, "Okay, I understand. I'll work harder next year." You accept the grade you are given. But a mercenary? A player? They say, "That's unfortunate. Here is the market data for my role. Here is the revenue I generated. If you can't match it, I have an offer from a competitor who can." That terrifies you. The very thought of saying that makes your palms sweat. Why? Because you are still 5 years old. You are still afraid the teacher will be mad at you. You are still afraid of being the bad kid. You would rather be underpaid and good than fairly paid and difficult. And your company knows this. They smell it on you. They can sense that deep-seated need for approval. They know they can pay you in praise instead of dollars. You're such a rock star. We couldn't do this without you. You're the only one I can trust. Those are gold stars. Those are stickers for your chart. And you wag your tail and work another weekend because you are addicted to the validation of an authority figure. You are not an adult professional trading value for money. You are a child seeking love from a parent who is incapable of loving you back. And until you kill the good student, until you realize that fairness is a fairy tale and merit is a myth, You will continue to be the smartest, hardest working person in the room who gets left behind. You will watch the C students become your bosses. You will watch the class clowns become CEOs. And you will sit there with your perfect attendance record, your perfect deliverables, and your stagnant salary, wondering why the teacher hasn't noticed you yet. The teacher isn't coming. Class is dismissed. You are confused. You are sitting at your desk, staring at an email announcement. It's a team update. Subject: please join me in congratulating. You read the name. Your stomach drops. It's him. The guy who asks you how to convert a PDF to Word 3 times a week. The guy who spends 2 hours at lunch. The guy who, in the last quarterly meeting, didn't know the difference between revenue and profit. He just got promoted. He is now a senior manager. He is now your boss. And you are still sitting in the same chair, with the same title, doing the work he was supposed to be doing. You feel a hot, prickly rage climbing up your neck. It makes no sense. You are the high performer. You are the one who knows the systems inside and out. You are the one everyone comes to when things break. So why him? Why not you? Because you have fallen into the infrastructure paradox. Here is the brutal truth about corporate architecture. You don't move the load-bearing walls. Think about a house. If you want to add a second floor, you don't take the foundation and put it on the roof. You leave the foundation exactly where it is. You bury it. You pile more weight on it. Because if you move the foundation, the house collapses. You have made yourself the foundation. You are so good at your job, so efficient, so reliable, that your boss literally cannot afford to promote you. If they move you to management, who is going to run the reports? Who is going to fix the legacy code? Who is going to handle the difficult clients? Nobody. To replace you, they would need to hire 2, maybe 3 people. They would have to train them. There would be a dip in productivity. There would be chaos. But the guy who got promoted, the one who is barely competent, if they move him, nothing breaks. In fact, moving him out of the workflow might actually improve efficiency. He is portable because he is useless. You are stuck because you are essential. This is the dark side of irreplaceability that nobody tells you about. You read career advice that says, make yourself indispensable. Congratulations. You did it. You are indispensable. And because you are indispensable in your current role, you will never leave it. You have dug a hole of competence so deep that you can't climb out of it. You have created a key man risk. In risk management, a key man risk is a single point of failure. If that person leaves, the system crashes. A smart manager identifies a key man risk and eliminates it. But a lazy manager, which is most of them, just exploits it. They keep the key man in the box. They keep the key man happy enough to stay, but not ambitious enough to leave. So when you go into that office and ask about your career path, watch them squirm. You're just so valuable to the team right now. We really need you focused on execution. I don't see you in a management role. You're more of a technical expert. Translation: I am not going to promote you because I need you to do the actual work. You are being punished for your proficiency. Meanwhile, the mediocre employees are floating up. This is known as the Dilbert principle. Incompetent workers are promoted to management to get them out of the workflow where they can cause the least amount of damage. You are watching people fail upward while you succeed downward. And you sit there, polishing your deliverables, thinking, eventually they will see that I am leadership material. No, they see you as labor material. You have branded yourself as the doer. And in the corporate caste system, the doers stay at the bottom. The talkers, the strategists, the managers, they move up. By doing everyone's job for them, by fixing every mistake, by being the person who just handles it, you have stripped away your own leverage. Leverage comes from the ability to walk away. But you care too much to walk away. You care too much about the work. You identify with the output. The guy who got promoted? He doesn't care about the work. He cares about the career. He views the job as a stepping stone, while you view it as a calling. And that is why he is in the corner office, and you are still fixing his PDFs. You are the infrastructure. You are the plumbing. You are the electricity. Essential? Yes. Visible? No. Nobody notices the electricity until it goes out. And until you are willing to let the lights go out, until you are willing to let things break, you will stay exactly where you are, buried in the dark, holding up the house for people who are walking all over you. There is a phrase that should trigger your immediate fight or flight response. It is more dangerous than we need to talk. It is more dangerous than urgent deadline. It is 4 words, usually spoken by a CEO wearing a $500 hoodie or a manager trying to get you to work through Christmas. We are a family here. Run. If you hear those words, you are not in a safe environment. You are in a psychological kill zone. We are a family is not a statement of culture. It is a calculated gaslight designed to bypass your logical brain and hotwire your emotional brain. It is a semantic trick used to suspend the laws of economics and replace them with the laws of obligation. Think about what a family is. A family is unconditional. A family is there for you when you are sick, when you fail, when you are broken. You don't fire your sister because she didn't meet her Q3 targets. You don't lay off your dad because his salary is dragging down the household EBITDA. But a company? A company is a conditional relationship based entirely on your utility. The moment your utility drops below your cost, the family vanishes. So why do they use the word? Because family implies that boundaries are rude. If your brother asks you to help him move a couch on Sunday, you do it because you love him. You don't ask for an invoice. You don't check your contract. So when your boss, your work dad, asks you to finish a deck on Sunday, he is hacking that same neural pathway. He is banking on the fact that you will feel like a bad person if you say no. He is banking on the guilt. Come on, the team is counting on you. We're all in this together. Don't let the family down. That is emotional blackmail. They are using the language of intimacy to extract unpaid labor. They are using the language of love to mask the reality of exploitation. Let's look at the unlimited PTO trap. This is the cool parent version of the scam. We don't track hours here. Take what you need. We trust you. It sounds amazing. It sounds like freedom. But what actually happens? Because there is no set number of days, there is no right amount to take. So you look around. Nobody else is taking vacation. The high performers are always online. So you don't take any. And when you do try to take a week off, you feel guilty. You feel like you are abandoning the family. You feel like you are the weak link. If you had 15 days of accrued leave, you would take them. They are yours. They are property, but unlimited. Leave is a gift from the parent, and you are terrified of abusing their generosity. Result? People with unlimited PTO often take fewer days off than people with fixed contracts. And when they leave the company doesn't have to pay out those unused days. Because you can't cash out a feeling. The family narrative also weaponizes culture fit. If you ask for a raise, you aren't just negotiating a salary. You are being greedy. You are not a team player. You are only in it for the money. We thought you cared about the mission. Imagine your landlord accepting mission for rent. Imagine the grocery store accepting team spirit for food. You are working for money. That is the entire point. It is a trade. Your time for their cash. But by framing it as a family, they make the very act of asking for your fair share feel like a betrayal. They make you feel dirty for wanting to be paid what you are worth. And here is the most violent part of the gaslight. The breakup. One day, the revenue dips. The investors get nervous. The family needs to tighten its belt. Do they cut the CEO's bonus? Do they sell the office ping pong tables? No. They call you into a room. It's not you, it's the business. This was a really hard decision for us. Suddenly, the language shifts. Suddenly, we aren't a family anymore. Now we are a lean, agile organization. Now we are optimizing headcount. The mask drops. They don't look at you like a brother. They look at you like a liability. And as you pack your box, as you hand over your badge, you realize the horrific truth. You were never their child. You were their fuel. They burned you to keep the engine running. And now that you are ash, they are sweeping you out the door so they can shovel in the next family member. Stop falling for it. Your coworkers are not your siblings. They are people who happen to have the same employer as you. Some of them are great. Some of them are friends. But they are not your blood. Your boss is not your father. He is a middle manager with a mortgage and a boss of his own who is breathing down his neck. HR is not your mother. HR is a risk management department designed to protect the company from you. Do not give them your heart. Do not give them your loyalty. Give them your hours. Give them your labor. And in exchange, take their money. That is the deal. That is the only deal. Anything else is a lie designed to get you to work for free. Let's talk about the moment you found out. Maybe you saw a pay stub left on the printer. Maybe the new hire had a few too many drinks at happy hour and let it slip. Maybe you just looked at the job posting for the role sitting next to you. However it happened, you saw the number, and your world stopped. The new guy, the one who just graduated, the one who asks you where the bathroom is, the one you are currently training, is making 20% more than you. You, the veteran, the one who knows where the bodies are buried, the one who built the systems they are now using. You do the mental math. You've been here 5 years. You started at a decent rate. You got your standard 3% raise every year. You thought you were doing okay. You thought you were climbing. But while you were climbing the internal ladder, the external elevator shot past you. This is called salary inversion, and it is the direct financial penalty for your loyalty. Here is how the scam works. When you stay at a company, your salary is anchored to your starting date. HR has strict policies about raises. We can only give you 5% maximum, they say. It's policy. They act like the policy is a law of physics, like gravity. They act like their hands are tied. But when they need to hire someone from the outside, the policy disappears. To attract new talent, they have to pay the current market rate. And the market rate moves faster than your 3% cost of living adjustment. So, every year you stay, you are effectively taking a pay cut relative to the market. You are becoming cheaper. You are becoming a bargain. And the company knows it. They have 2 budgets. One is for talent acquisition. That is a war chest. That is designed to seduce, to conquer, to win. It is a blank check. The other budget is for retention. That is a tip jar. That is designed to do the bare minimum to keep you from quitting. By staying, you have moved yourself from the acquisition pile to the retention pile. You have gone from being a prize to be won to a fixture to be maintained. And here is the visceral insult of it all. You are training your replacement, and you are subsidizing their salary. Think about it. The company has a total budget for labor. By underpaying you, they have the surplus cash to overpay the new guy. Your loyalty is literally funding his signing bonus. You are the discount that makes their hiring spree possible. And when you finally build up the courage to walk into your boss's office and say, "Hey, this isn't fair. I know what the new guy makes. I want a market adjustment." Watch what happens. They will sigh. They will look pained. They will give you the speech. "We can't just bump you up 20% all at once. It would break the pay bands. It would be unfair to everyone else." Unfair? You have been saving them money for half a decade. You have been delivering senior-level work for junior-level pay. And now they are telling you that fixing their exploitation of you would be unfair. This is gaslighting on a spreadsheet. They are betting on your inertia. They are betting on the fact that you are comfortable. They know you have a commute you like. They know you have friends here. They know you are afraid of change. They have calculated your pain threshold. They know exactly how much they can underpay you before you actually leave. And they will pay you exactly $1 more than that threshold. This is the loyalty tax. Every year you stay at the same company, you are paying a tax for the privilege of comfort. You are paying a tax for the illusion of safety. And the only way to stop paying the tax, the only way to reset your value, you have to leave. You have to go back out into the market and become a new hire somewhere else. You have to force someone else to open their acquisition budget for you. But you don't do it. You stay. You accept the title change instead. This silent promotion. They can't give you money, so they give you a new title. Senior manager. Lead architect. Vice president of nothing. You feel a swell of pride. You update your LinkedIn. You tell your mom. But look at your bank account. It hasn't moved. Look at your workload. It just doubled. You just sold your soul for a word. You just accepted more stress, more hours, and more responsibility for $0. You think it's a stepping stone. It's not. It's an anchor. Now you are doing a bigger job for the same small paycheck, and you have just made yourself even cheaper to replace. You are loyal. And in the corporate dictionary, loyal is a synonym for sucker. You are looking at the new guy with resentment. You shouldn't be. You should be looking at him with envy. He played the game correctly. He didn't give them his loyalty. He gave them a bill, and they paid it. It is time to stop looking out the window. It is time to look in the mirror. We have spent the last 30 minutes dissecting the company. We have analyzed their greed, their manipulation, their gaslighting. We have painted them as the villain of this story. But a villain cannot exist without a victim. And in this story, you are not just a victim. You are a volunteer. This is the part of the documentary where you want to turn it off. This is the part where you get defensive. But I have a mortgage. But I have kids. But the economy is bad. Stop. Those are valid reasons to have a job. Those are not valid reasons to let a job destroy your soul. You are complaining about how they treat you. You vent to your partner every night. You whine to your friends. Over drinks. You scream into your pillow on Sunday nights. They don't respect me. They take advantage of me. They don't know what I'm worth. Here is the cold, hard truth. They treat you exactly the way you have trained them to treat you. Every time you answered an email at 9 p.m., you were training them. Every time you accepted a project without asking, "What is the priority?" you were training them. Every time you smiled and said "sure" when you wanted to scream "no," you were training them. You are the co-author of your own exploitation. You think you are a martyr. You think you are the noble sufferer, carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders because you are loyal and hardworking. You are not a martyr. You are a coward. You are afraid of conflict. You are afraid of the awkward silence that happens when you set a boundary. You are afraid that if you stop being the yes person, you will be nothing. You have built your entire identity around being the person who can handle it. You get a sick, twisted hit of dopamine every time someone says, "I don't know what we'd do without you." That isn't praise. That is the sound of someone locking your shackles. And you love it. Deep down, in the shadow part of your psyche, you enjoy the abuse. It makes you feel necessary. It makes you feel superior to the people who go home at 5 p.m. You look at them with judgment. Look at them, slacking off. I'm the one doing the real work. That judgment is your defense mechanism. It protects you from the terrifying realization that they are free and you are a slave. They aren't slacking off. They are living their lives. You are the one who has confused suffering with value. You are setting the market price for your own misery. Imagine you are selling a car. You put a sign on it that says, "Free. Take it whenever you want. Drive it into the ground. Don't worry about gas or maintenance." And then you stand there, shocked and angry, when people treat the car like garbage. Why don't they wash it? You cry. Why don't they respect it? Because you told them it was worth $0. Your time is the car. Your energy is the gas. And you have put a free sign on your forehead. You are waiting for them to suddenly develop a conscience. You are waiting for the wolf to stop eating the sheep because the sheep is being so nice. The wolf is hungry. The wolf does what wolves do. The sheep has to learn how to bite back, or at least how to build a fence. But you won't build the fence. You tear it down. You apologize for having a fence. Sorry to bother you. I know this is a bad time. I'm probably wrong, but listen to your own language. You are apologizing for existing. You are preemptively making yourself small so they don't have to shrink you. You are doing their work for them. You are the one who stays silent in the meeting when they steal your idea. You are the one who nods when they give you an impossible deadline. You are the one who laughs at the joke that isn't funny because the boss told it. You are complicit. And if you don't change, if you keep playing the role of the loyal soldier, let me paint you a picture of your future. 10 years from now, you are still in the same chair. You are grayer. You are heavier. Your blood pressure is up. Your relationships are strained because you are always stressed about work. And the company? They have replaced the CEO 3 times. They have rebranded. They have moved offices. And nobody remembers the weekend you missed your anniversary to launch a product that was discontinued 2 years later. Nobody remembers the nights you stayed until midnight to fix a bug that didn't matter. You will be the bitter veteran in the corner, warning the new hires about how bad it used to be, while secretly resenting their optimism. You will be the ghost of the office, haunting the hallways of a building that never loved you back. Is that what you want? Is that the legacy you are building? Because right now, you are holding the pen. You are writing this tragedy line by line, day by day. And the only person who can stop writing it is you. The company isn't going to change. The system isn't going to change. The boss isn't going to wake up and decide to be a saint. The variable is you. So stop waiting for permission to be treated like a human being. Stop waiting for them to value you. Value is not given. Value is claimed. And until you claim yours, you are just a resource waiting to be mined until you are empty. We have reached the end of the line. You are probably feeling a mix of things right now. Anger, shame, fear, maybe a little bit of nausea. Good. Nausea is the first sign that the poison is leaving your system. You cannot unsee what we have just dismantled. You cannot go back to that office tomorrow and look at your boss the same way. You cannot sit in that meeting and hear, "We're a family," without hearing the laughter behind the curtain. So now, you have a binary choice. Option A, the slow death. You close this video. You go back to work. You tell yourself, "It's not that bad." You tell yourself, "I can't risk it." You keep seeking validation from people who are professionally incapable of giving it. And you will rot. You will become the person who complains about the coffee but never leaves the kitchen. You will become the person who waits for a thank you that never comes, until the day they hand you a cardboard box and a security escort. Option B, the mercenary turn. This is the uncomfortable path. This is the path of the dark triad, applied to your own survival. You stop being an employee. You start being a business. The company you work for is not your employer. They are your client. Think about how a business treats a client. If a client stops paying, do you keep working? No. If a client demands work outside of the scope of the contract, do you just do it for free? No. You send a change order. You send an invoice. If a client is toxic, abusive, or drains your resources, you fire the client. This is the psychological shift you must make. From this moment on, your loyalty is to you incorporated. Your labor is a product. You are selling it to the highest bidder. If your current client, your boss, refuses to pay market rate, you don't get mad. You don't cry. You don't beg. You take your product to the open market. But that's cold, you say? That's mercenary. Yes, it is. And do you know who gets respected in business? Mercenaries. Because mercenaries have leverage. Mercenaries have options. Mercenaries don't need to be liked because they are too busy being effective and paid. Here is your operational plan for tomorrow morning. The emotional firewall. Stop caring about the outcome of the company. Care about the quality of your work, yes, but detach your self-worth from the stock price. If the project fails because they didn't staff it properly, let it fail. Do not set yourself on fire to keep their bad planning warm. They always open policy. Update your LinkedIn. Turn on open to work, recruiters only. Take the call from the headhunter. Take the coffee meeting with the competitor. Even if you love your job, you must always know what your market value is. The only way to know your value is to have an offer in your pocket. An offer is a weapon. Without it, you are unarmed. The no muscle. Start small. The next time someone asks for a favor that isn't your job, say, I don't have the bandwidth for that right now. Don't apologize. Don't explain. Just state the fact. Watch their reaction. They will be shocked. Then, they will respect you. The exit strategy. If you are underpaid, start planning your departure. Not someday. Now. Set a date. 3 months. 6 months. Use their resources to upskill yourself. Take their training courses. Get their certifications. Use their brand on your resume. Extract every ounce of value from them, just as they have extracted every ounce of labor from you. This is not about being evil. This is about balance. For years, the scales have been tipped in their favor. They have used psychology, guilt, and culture to get more than they paid for. Now, you are tipping the scales back. You are reclaiming your time. You are reclaiming your sanity. You are reclaiming your life. Work is not your family. Work is not your purpose. Work is a utility. It is a faucet that pours money into your life so you can fund the things that actually matter. Your real family. Your real friends. Your real passions. Stop giving the best parts of yourself to a logo. Stop giving your loyalty to a machine. Be a professional. Be a mercenary. Be free. The cage door is open. Walk out.